Vishaya Vishama Vasha Satatakainu Vishaya Vishama Satatakainu Vishaya Vishama Visha Satatakainu Gora Kitana Rasa Magana Nainu Gora Kitana Rasa Magana Panakikusaya Kenavachaya Kesukabaya Kenavachaya Prana Kesukabaya Sakeno Nagela Maria Narotamata Sakeno Nagela Maria Goranga 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 Thank you. 50? You.
Powerful body.
Yeah, I agree. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Se Mora Bhajana Pujana Se Mora Pranadana Se Mora Bharana Se Mora Jivana Jivana Se Mora Rasanidhi Se Mora Vanchasiddhi Se Mora Vejera Jarama Se Rata Se Tapa Se Mora Mantra Japa Se Mora Dharama Karama Se Mora Dharma Karama Anukula Havevidi Se Pare Hoi Vesiri Nirakibo Edu Inayane Shirupa Madhuri Rashi Pranakuvalaya Shashi Kapulita Benishidine Benishidine Tua Darshana Ahi Karale Jaralo Dehi Chiradina Tapita Jivana Ha Prabhu Koro Joya Teho More Padachaya Jaya Ha Prabhu Koro Joya Teho More Parachaya Narottama Loilo Sharana Sharana Narottama Loilo Sharana Narottama Sharana Jaya Rupa Manjari Jaya Rupa Manjari Rupa Manjari Jaya Rupa Manjari Rupa Manjari Jaya Rupa Goswami Jaya Rupa Goswami Rupa Goswami Jaya Rupa Goswami Jaya Rupa Goswami Narottam Das Thakur ki Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur ki Radha and Krishna, yes.
Page 122. Yeah, I keep thinking of the morning tune for some reason. Hari Hari Kabe Mora Oibe Surina Bajivo Shri Radha Krishna Hoya Premadina Hari Hari Kabe Mora Oibe Sudi. Someone cartels maybe. We gotta do a temple cartel thing. Suyanche Merseya Gabo Sumadhura Thana Anande Kori Boruha Rupa Guna Gana Suyanche Messiah Gabo Sumadhura Thana Anande Kari Boruha Rupa Guna Radhika Govinda Boli Kandibo Chai Sware Bijive Sakala Anga Nayane Ranire Radhika Govinda Boli Kandibo Chai Sware Bijive Sakala Anga Nayane Ranire Evara Karuna Karo Rupa
Sanatana Raghunatha Dasa Mora Shri Jiva Jivana Rupa Sanatana Raghunatha Dasa Mora Evara Karuna Karo Lalita Vishaka Sakya Bhave Sridham Suva Arisaka Evara Karuna Karo Sabe mili karo daya puruk morasa pratama karo ye sada narotama dasa Sabe mili karo daya puruk morasa Partane karo ye sada naratasa Hari Hari kabe mora hoibe sudhina Vajibo Shri Radha Krishna Hoya Premadina Hari Hari Kabe Ready? Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda 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 Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Atul Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Bolo Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Jaya Radha Raman Bihari, Radha Raman Bihari Radhe. Radhe, Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Govinda, Radha Govinda Radha. Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gaurari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaurari. Sachinandan, Jaya, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya, Jaya Jaya, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Jaya Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksu. See, what you do is you all right, we won't, but what you do is put the drum in a tool's hand so that you can get up and get the prayers. You know what I mean? Before it ends. Because otherwise, it's a lag. Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tvadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah Yang Pravrajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Viraha Kataruvajuhava Putre Taruvo Benedus Tang Sarvabhutaridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparadalakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadi Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyayarad. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather Guru Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and to all of his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus who are my Shiksha Guru, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So tonight is part 2 of our hearing from our Guru Varga about the glory, or a atom of the glory of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, who's the founder of Gaudiya Math, which has hundreds and hundreds of branches, and acharyas as well. Tomorrow morning will be part 3 for the ladies, and the men will be meeting with Shivananda Prabhu over at the men's ashram. Is that okay, Shivananda?
By your order, I stand on my head.
So I'll say a few things tonight. In Singapore, where is that? Lecture in Singapore. Oh, so he taught that there are 5 kinds of knowledge. The first kind is pratyaksha, which means whatever we see with our senses, which is all false. Then paroksha is what we're hearing about and which we don't see, which is about the fact that there are heavenly planets, Swarga, where people enjoy much more than here in the material world. Of course, to experience that is also false, because this body is just dust, dust they were, dust thou beest. And the enjoyment here is imaginary. So that's pratyaksha and paroksha. Just like there are wars all over the world, but we don't see them. We just hear about them on the news. And so that's how it is with Swarga. We're hearing from authorities. Then Gurudev says we will have to accept Swarga, even though we don't see it. There are hundreds of thousands of heavenly planets, all the way up to Brahmaloka, where 4,300,000,000 years of our time is one day of Brahma, and the same time is his night. Then there are different heavenly planets where, for example, 6 months of our day, of our time, is one day of their time. Everybody lives for 100 years, but the amount of time in a day is different. Plus, they ride around in lapis lazuli airplanes with their consorts, and the ladies there all smell like lotus flowers without the need of a perfume. So many, many amazing things about Swarga that we have to believe although we don't see it. That's called paroksha. And then, so what's the first one? Pratyaksha. Tyaksha. T-Y. Pratyaksha. The second is paroksha. And then the third, the third is aparoksha. Well, going back to Swarga, Gurudev says, we hear that if a man is a thief, a dacoit, a debauch, and so on, he will have to go to hell. On the other hand, if he's pious, then he will go to the heavenly planets and be happy there. Then after that is aparoksha, and this is the teaching of Sripad Sankaracharya, which is that one day we will have to die, and we will have to give up everything in this world. Our beauty will go, our body will go, whatever we are collecting will go. So why are we collecting all these bogus things? An intelligent person thinks about this and becomes detached, but a bogus, foolish person remains attached. Nowadays, there's a competition for Miss India, Miss World, Miss Universe. And then they get glorified, and they're all over the news, And then a year later, when somebody else is selected, then nobody pays attention to them anymore. So the teaching of Sankaracharya is that this world is all false. Everything is ultimately void and impersonal. Then after that, there is adhoksaja. So there's pratyaksha, paroksha, aparoksha, and then adhoksaja. We've heard that the meaning of adhoksaja is that Krishna is beyond the conception of the material senses. He has no material senses, and he's beyond the conception of our senses or mind or intellect. And this is Krishna in Vaikuntha, where the planets are beyond time and space. There's no limit to their length and breadth. Everyone there lives in eternity, bliss, and knowledge, and everyone worships the Lord in his opulent feature, which is quite a distant relationship. So that, yes?
You said, I think I misunderstood something about aparoksha. It sounded like you were saying that Sri Shankaracharya's teaching of aparoksha is that there's nirvishesh, there's nothingness. So
There's nothingness, there's impersonal. Yeah.
But isn't this the 5 teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur?
They're not his teachings. He's not going to teach pratyaksha. You should judge things by your senses. He's saying these are the 5 levels of knowledge. The first one is completely false, or because our senses are imperfect. So whatever we see, we're not seeing properly. And whatever I judge to be real is what? What? You know? From the 2nd canto? A reflection in darkness that has no substance. It doesn't seem like that, does it? To our mind, but that's how it is. Dust thou wert, dust thou beest. Only the soul remains.
He was saying there's a little squeak, but if I turn it down, get rid of the squeak, then we can't, it's too low for how you like to speak.
What if I go like that and be...
The closer is less.
Closer is less squeak?
Closer than you can turn it down.
Hmm?
Or no problem.
So first is pratyaksha, like a person who's drunk lies down in the drain and a dog comes up to him and he's thinking that I'm the monarch of all I survey. And a dog comes up to him because his perspiration is salty. So the dog likes the taste of the salt, so he comes and licks the face of the drunkard in the drain. And the drunkard in the drain thinks that he is loved. So all of these are illusory concepts of life. Or, as you know, Prabhupada gives the example of the bird who walks up to the mirror and says, "Who are you?" And the bird in the mirror says, "Who are you?" He said, "Don't talk to me like that." And he pecks him. And the bird pecks back. "How dare you peck me?" And he pecks even harder. And it goes on harder and harder until the bird smashes the mirror and dies. This is called the illusory struggle against the material nature. So that's pratyaksha. Then there's paroksha, hearing about heaven. And then there's aparoksha, voidism, and impersonalism. It's all false. It's all false, and there's no reality beyond the falsity. And then there's adhoksaja, which is Krishna in Vaikuntha, where there's no limit in time and space. And then what's the highest? The highest is aprakrita. Means Krishna, it means transcendental. Aprakrita, chinmoy, spiritual, but not of opulence, but of Krishna and his friends and Mother Yasoda and the gopis. That's the highest, Braj Lila. That's aprakrita. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the most superior truth is aprakrita. That's what he says is his teaching. He says Krishna is sometimes like a baby there. There he's controlled by his mother and father, controlled by the gopis, controlled by his friends. No one can imagine such sweet pastimes. This is called Gyan, means knowledge, and this is called Aprakrit Gyan. Let's see. Then in another section, Srila Gurudev talks about a major contribution. As you know from the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna created the Varnashram system of brahmachari, grihastha, varnaprastha, and sannyas, or celibate, unmarried student, household life, marriage life, renounced life, and the highest renounced life, the teacher of all other divisions. So, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he went through all these stages, and he took sannyas. So then his followers, why don't I read it? His followers were the 6 Goswamis, and they were thinking, so he's a sannyas, and we can never be like him. We can't imitate him. So we should wear white, which is below the sannyas. In their humility, they all wore white. And just because they didn't want to imitate him, they wanted to hold his sannyas on their head. But gradually, according to the time, the Babaji class became more and more corrupt. And in the name of Babaji and renunciation, they were all thinking that they're gopis now, and they would have their lady, Gurudev said, Babarinis, and they would all have illicit sex life with the ladies, with the widows. And so, seeing this, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur defeated all of their arguments. And there's a very interesting book here, which is Srila Gurudev's lectures very simple English lectures, which developed out of his book called 5 Essential Essays. The Babajis denounce the Gaudiya Math and say that the Gaudiya Math have no disciplic succession. And the principles of Varnashram have no disciplic succession. And they criticize Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for reviving sannyas, wearing saffron. So first it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wearing saffron, and then his followers wore white, and then the white wearers became degraded, and then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur reestablished sannyas single-handed and reestablished varnashram. And he trained many brahmacharis, householders, varnaprasthas or renounced householders, and sannyasis. So the Babajis were denouncing him that actually sannyas, your sannyas, is a modern concoction. You had no right to establish this sannyas order. And they quoted things like, in the Shastras it says 5 things are forbidden in this age of Kali. One of them is animal sacrifices, because there's no qualified Brahmins to recite the qualified mantras to bring the animal back to life. The purpose of the animal sacrifices is to test the efficacy of the mantras when the animal is sacrificed. An old animal would be sacrificed, and then at the end he would come out with a new body. So, why did I say that? Yes, so in Kali Yuga, when there's no Brahmins qualified, animal sacrifice is forbidden. And sannyas is also forbidden. But that meant mayavadi or impersonal sannyas, or bogus sannyas, where somebody would go around and beg food all day just to fill up his belly. So using these erroneous arguments, they denounced the Gaudiya Math, denounced Srila Prabhupada, said he had no Guru Parampara. And I hope you can read this book. It's very, very good, because Gurudev said this Sahajiism is spreading like the plague. While I'm here, he said, I'm holding it back somewhat, but I don't know what will happen after I leave. So then Srila Gurudev, both in the 5 Essential Essays and in this book, which is his lectures. The other is his Hindi articles that were translated into English. So they're a lot more technical. So he said, people challenge, why did Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduce the sacred thread as a new scheme in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line? There was no sacred thread previously. He started it, and he established saffron cloth. See, we want to know all of these arguments if we're going to be preachers. So then Gurudev said, this question is asked by ignorant persons, because there are a lot of groups that are against the Gaudiya Math in this day and age. The sacred thread was introduced at the beginning of our creation. This is the verdict of Shruti Shastra. The evidence of this is also found in various Upanishads like Gautama Upanishad, Javalopanishad, Jagya Upanishad, Parahamsa Paribrajaka Upanishad. And in the 5 Essays book, it states, the saintly King Janak Maharaj, who was, as you know, is the father of Sita Devi, inquired from the great sage Jagyavalkya, "O Bhagavan, please explain to me the qualifications and regulations governing the acceptance." Do you have to leave now? Okay, I hope to see you soon. "O Bhagavan, please explain to me the qualifications and regulations governing the acceptance of sannyas." And that's way before Kali Yuga, way before Dwarka Yuga, the time of Ram. So then there's so many rules for each of the ashram. And that's at the beginning scriptures. At the time of Ramchandra, Vasistha Muni was giving sannyas to all those who were qualified. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you know that verse? It's good at, yeah, he knows it. Chaturvarnyam maya shristam guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. That I am the founder of the Varnashram system. I'm the non-doer being unchangeable. Then Gurudev gets into all the histories. Madhavendra Puri, who's the grandfather guru of Mahaprabhu, took sannyas, and all of Mahaprabhu's associates also. So they also criticize Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, for taking sannyas from a picture of his Gurudev and saying that that's not bona fide because his Gurudev is no longer here. That is Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. But we see there's a history since Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwarpa Yuga. Ramanujacharya took sannyas from his Gurudev after his Gurudev left the world, when his disciples were carrying his divine body to give him samadhi. I think you all, who doesn't know that history? Do you? Do you?
No, I can't say it, but I've heard it. I'd love to hear it.
I think you know it.
I've heard
Remember the three fingers.
So he was so he was looking for his, he was searching out, and you know they didn't have conveyances then, so walking thousands of miles to meet with his Gurudev Jamunacharya, and by the time he reached him, he was being carried on a palanquin to be given samadhi. So he asked the disciples who were carrying him, "Please show me him." And because he was a respected Vaishnava, they did. And then he made 3 vows. I'm going to take sannyas here and now. I'm going to preach the philosophy of my Gurudev and Guru Varga. I'm going to write a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And each time his closed fingers, one of them opened. He said, "Do you know anything about this?" And the disciples had no idea. So then they all accepted him as the next Acharya. But he was so humble, he said, "I don't want to be the next Acharya right away. I want to live with each of you for some time, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. And then after I've learned from you, then I'll take that position." And then also in this particular lecture, Gurudev is putting down the word Babaji. They said they have a Babaji, a civic succession. But he said in the scripture there's no word Babaji. Then you may say, well, in Driva Dharma there's so many Babajis that are authorized gurus. And there's Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji, but not as a title, but as an affectionate father. They were known. So it's good for us to know all that history. If anybody would like to take this lecture that was just printed out, anybody want to promise to really learn it, Kadagraja Prabhu? But that means really learn it. And you can practice it on your brothers. So now I'm coming to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. So Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. He's describing in this book many of the Lord's associates. And of course one of them is Srila Saraswati Thakur. So now he's talking about his disappearance time. The first section is the intimations of his divine departure, like what was hinting at it. So on October 24th, he left for Puri. On November 1st, his dear disciple, Bhakti Sri Rup Puri Maharaj, he disappeared. And, Prabhupada's final instructions. On December 27th, several days prior to the setting of the blazing sun of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, he spoke to a gathering of his closest disciples. And he said the following words. Srila Gurudev also, in very brief, quoted that this morning. I have disturbed many people because I felt myself obliged to speak the unadulterated truth. I have told everyone to worship Krishna without hypocrisy, and because of this, some people have perhaps considered me their enemy. So I have caused many people anxiety by telling them to give up other desires and hypocrisy and to sincerely serve Krishna. Someday they will come to understand that I was doing this for their benefit. All of you please preach the message of Rupa and Raghunath with great enthusiasm. The ultimate object of our desires is to become specks of dust at the lotus feet of the followers of Rupa Goswami. Remain united in following the Ashraya Vigraha. Ashraya Vigraha means the devotees, it means Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, and it also means Srimati Radhika, the supreme Ashraya or container of love of Krishna. Remain united in following the Ashraya Vigraha. Thanks. Is it warm?
No.
In order to satisfy the transcendental senses of the one non-dual supreme truth. Make your way through the impermanent transitory life in whatever way you can, keeping the goal of worshiping the Lord foremost in your minds. Don't abandon this goal. Unless you keep going towards a goal, like with a GPS, It keeps telling you, okay, now turn left and go that way for 2 blocks, and then turn right and go that way for 3 street lights. Because it's always keeping how to get to that place that you're driving to. Never abandon. There's lots of absolutes here. Always remember your goal. Never abandon your bhajan, that is hearing and chanting. Krishna Katha. Please always chant the name, being humbler than a blade of grass and more tolerant than a tree. A lot of things to consistently remember. So how is he describing the body? This body is like an aging cow, which in ancient times was meant to be offered in sacrifice, the animal sacrifice. Only we desire to offer the body to Krishna in the sacrifice of the holy name established by Mahaprabhu and his associates. We don't seek to become heroes in performing great works or religious deeds. You know, we want this big project, we want a museum, we want a cafe or restaurant, we want a big temple 3 times as big as this. We want housing, good housing for men and women and householders. So back in 1966, Srila Prabhupada was talking about expanding, and the devotees were talking about expanding and going to different countries. And then Prabhupada said, the goal is Krishna, not getting a bigger place is an activity for service, but the whole goal of it all is Radha Dasyam. Our true being and our identity is that of a speck of dust at the lotus feet of Rupa Prabhu, Rupa Goswami. Life, however long it takes, life after life. The stream which flows from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what is that called? Bhaktivinoda Dhara, will never be dammed up. Remember this, it's always flowing. And vow to double your efforts to fulfill his desires. Among you there are many capable and worthy individuals. We seek nothing for ourselves. Our motto is this: Ardhanastranam tantar idam yache puna puna Shiman rupa padamboje duli sham janma janmani. Taking grass between my teeth, I pray repeatedly that I may become a speck of dust at Sri Rupa Goswami's lotus feet. It's too hot. Birth after birth. And then he said, while living in this world, we encounter many difficulties, but there is no need for us to be bewildered by these difficulties, nor need we make any effort to remove them. What is necessary for us while we are still here is to learn what will remain after we have removed all these difficulties. What will be the nature of our eternal life? There are so many things which we want or don't want, but we have to come to terms with this duality of attractions and repulsions. There's going to be so many good things coming to us that we like and things that we don't like. And nothing we can do, there's nothing we can do to change that. The more we distance ourselves from Krishna's lotus feet, the more these things will draw us in to dualities. And it's only because we're distanced, like, again, the hand facing away from the light. We can only begin to comprehend the exquisite taste of service to Krishna's lotus feet after transcending these worldly attractions and repulsions. It's both the same thing, two sides of a coin. Oh, I had a good dream last night. Oh, I had a bad dream last night. What's the difference? Nothing. The doctrines of Krishna Bhakti seem startling at first, perhaps even perplexing. Knowingly, Shri Radha Govind, Radha Raman Bihari Ji Ki Jai. Knowingly or unknowingly, every human is struggling to eliminate the adventitious elements of life which interfere with his direct experience of his eternal fulfillment. So we're paying attention to stopping the waves in the ocean. We have no attachment for anyone in this world, nor any hostility. I remember in Srila Bharati Maharaj's last days, he said the same thing. If anyone wants to give us something, we don't think that it came from him. Because if we do, then we'll become attached to that person. Whatever arrangements we make in this world last but a moment, while the need to search out the supreme fulfillment is equally unavoidable for everyone. May all of you work united and in harmony towards the same goal, to earn the right to serve the root. So we're all going for the same thing, Radhadasyam. So all of you work united and in harmony towards the same goal, which is to earn the right to serve the root Ashraya Vigraha, that is Srimati Radhika. May the current of ideas propagated by Rupa Goswami flow throughout the world. May we never, under any circumstance, become indifferent to the seven-tongued sacrificial flame of the holy name. Seven-tongued sacrificial flame. I wonder if that's Cheto Darbana Marjanam. If our attraction to it remains ever increasing, we will achieve all perfection. Remain faithful to Rupa Goswami's followers and preach Rupa Raghunath's teachings enthusiastically and fearlessly. With what aim? Krishna Prem. Now we're going on to his last day. In the morning of the day on which he disappeared, he asked Tridandi Swami Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj to sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Oh, is that why you sang it? Good. And Naveen Krishna Vidyalankar to sing the Tuhundaya Sagara Tari Te Prani from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's translation of Sikshastakam. Can you turn to it? You know, there's a section called the name. Maybe everybody can turn to that. What'd you say, Vasanti? We sang it? Tuhundaya Sagara Tarai Te Prani Nama Ekanatu Sikaoliani. We're not going to sing the whole kirtan now. but it's based on the second verse to the holy name. You are an ocean of mercy. To deliver the living entities, you have brought and taught your innumerable holy names. You have invested all your potency in your holy names, and there's no restriction regarding time or place. The touchstone of Sri Nam is equal to you. You have distributed this treasure house of mercy throughout the entire creation. Such is your supremely magnanimous compassion, O Lord, but my luck is extremely poor. My anurag, intense affection for the name, has not awakened. Thus, the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is overcome with sorrow. So what's that? He had Srila Sridhar Maharaj sing Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, and then he had Naveen Krishna Vidyalankara sing Tuhandoya Sagarda. Prabhupada expressed satisfaction and thanks to Bhakti Sudhakar Prabhu Nishikanta Sanyal for his service. He also told them, another devotee, to remain enthusiastic in his service. At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he called another devotee to tell him that he was very fortunate because of the service he had rendered. So he's closing shop with everybody. The service that he has done to Sri Mayapur. Later in the afternoon, he said to another disciple, "You are a competent person. Take care of my mission. It is best if love and rapture are seen as having the same meaning. Narottam Das Thakur adopted Rupa and Raghunath's understanding. It is best if we live according to that understanding. Love and rapture, that's prem. Then he said to everyone, I give my blessings to all who are present here and those who are absent. Remember always that our only duty and religion is to propagate the service of the Bhagavad and Bhagavan, book Bhagavad and the Grantha Bhagavad and the person Bhagavad." At 5:30 a.m., January 1st, 1937, Prabhupada entered the eternal abode, joining Radha and Krishna in the pre-dawn pastimes, Nishanta Lila, of their eternal 24-hour cycle of activities in Braj. At the end of the night, Radha and Krishna lie intertwined in embrace, becoming as one body. It is at this moment when their united form of Gaur Sundar is eternally manifest. Wow. Did you get that? Could you repeat that, Atul?
Not word for word, but at the end of the night, when Radha and Krishna.
Louder?
At the end of the night, when Radha and Krishna lie entwined, that's the. I guess that's the.
Entwined as one.
As one, yeah.
That's when Mahaprabhu manifested. And at that same moment is when Parshabhanabi Devi Dayata Das, their servant, joined them in that time.
Honestly, as a question,
So when he joins them, does that mean he went to heaven? Or, I don't know.
Well, we discussed heaven earlier. That's still a material higher planet. But Aprakrita, which is the highest truth, he entered the abode of Krishna and Radha in the kingdom of God, way beyond heaven. You'll gradually learn about it. That's our real home. And that's our only goal, to go there. So he entered there at that time. So then there's the Srila Bharati Maharaj quotes the last verse of the pranam mantra to Srila Prabhupada. Obeisances to you who are the incarnation of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's gospel, the deliverer of the fallen and the destroyer of the darkness of unorthodox doctrines which oppose the conclusions given by Srila Rupa Goswami and his followers. The announcement of Prabhupada's departure was published in the Gaudiya magazine. What's the meaning of entering the Leela? At this hour is understood clearly by those who are intimate with him, for it is directly experienced in their hearts. So those who are his pure followers, they experience his entrance into that Nishanta Leela. But a hint can be given here. At the end of the night, Radha and Krishna are locked in an unbreakable embrace. Jayadev Goswami has indicated this situation with the word naktam in the first verse of Gita Govinda, which begins, Me gair, me doram, ambaram. When Radha and Krishna are joined together like this, they take on their combined form of Gaur-Sundar. It's interesting, this is the highest, most intimate, amorous love, and Gaur-Sundar is the embodiment of renunciation. What does that show? It shows that their embrace has nothing to do with the material world. It's completely detached from anything material. Srila Prabhupada is like the son of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. As he is identical with its acharyas, Rupa and Swarup Damodar, he's identical with them. But now that the sun has set, darkness has descended, not only on the preachers of the Gaudiya Math, but on the whole world. It seems that the direct light of guidelines, guileless devotion will once again be hidden from the view of the world's people. But Srila Gurudev was more positive than that. Both are true. He said Srila Prabhupada has entered Samadhi where he will guide us forever. So I'm going to stop here because Vasanti wants to begin the Guru Puja now, and tomorrow morning we'll resume. We will hear the Upadeshavali tomorrow, the list of in brief, his teachings. And also some last words of his to his disciples, where he starts talking about Chandravali and Radharani and what is the nature of the quarrel between them. And when he was doing that, his face started turning all colors, yellow and red and things. Okay, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Tirubhav Titi Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai, Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai, Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi.
Quick one question. The closing up shop, was that just the day before you left at 5:30?
Yeah. Well, the last day was, it discussed the morning he disappeared. And that was June 1st. And on the 27th, which was several days prior to the setting of the blazing sun, he called all of his closest disciples and preached and gave the last instructions about this body is rotten. The body is rotten, but although it's useless and rotten, it should be used as the sacrificial, put in the sacrificial fire of longing for Radha Dasyam.
Even though our body is useless and rotten, we shouldn't treat it like it's useless and rotten, right?
Because it basically manifests pus, blood, stool, and urine. But we use it in Krishna's service. We respect it because it's Krishna's energy. We take good care of it because, like a typewriter, if you wanted to keep working, or not, that was in the olden days, a computer, you want to keep the computer free from dust and covered and working well. Close it correctly. So it's just dead matter, but we treat it very respectfully because we can do so much service from a computer. Like this was printed from the computer. So we know what the body is, but we also consider it Krishna's divine energy, divine material energy, meant to use as a sacrifice in Krishna's service, to sacrifice it in Krishna's service. A much more opulent necklace than that sparkly one you're wearing would be tulsi beads around your neck. That can't save you from death. If you wear tulsi beads, then Yamaraj, or the god of death, he'll know that this person has a master, like somebody who works with the dog pound. If he sees dogs on the street, he'll come and take that dog for the pound to be killed. But if he sees a dog with a collar, he'll know, oh, this dog has an owner, so I'm not going to take it. So this means that we're owned by Krishna. The devotees will explain more later. A lot to learn. I'll read the English so that we know what we're singing. All glories to the Arati ceremony of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. I am beholding. It bestows eternal service at the Yoga Pit in Mayapur, that is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, upon those who observe it. So one benefit we'll get from doing this arati is service to the divine appearance place of Mahaprabhu. The enchantingly sweet fragrance of the incense of his preaching. See, we're offering incense, but we're thinking of the fragrance of the incense of his preaching spreads in all directions and attracts all liberated and conditioned beings, both moving and non-moving. Even the non-moving beings become attracted, like a swarm of honeybees. He illuminated the entire universe with the lamp, the ghee lamp, of the philosophical conclusions of pure devotional service. How many wicks does a lamp have?
5.
Okay, so this lamp contains the flames of seva in the 5 rasas. Wherever those 5 great flames are, there are 5 great halos of light, right? When you have a fire, there's light, and they destroy the darkness of ignorance and depraved intelligence throughout the 3 worlds. So, prema bhakti yaha hoite, avidya vinasajate. When prem comes, ignorance goes. Depraved intelligence. The current of water from the conch shell is the current of the teachings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which flows continuously and cannot be checked. Somebody can deviate from the Bhaktivinoda Dhara or line of conception, but that conception keeps going, not depending on the person who deviated. Then there's the bell, full of all musical sounds, resonates perpetually, but the music of the Brihat Mridanga, the publication of holy scriptures, exhibits the highest sweetness. Resplending tilak adorns his broad forehead, and a necklace of tulsi beans gleams around his neck. Gleams. With his long arms extending to his knees, his towering figure, and his complexion like molten gold, he is supremely beautiful. His charming, lovely face displays a smile that is full of affection, and the beauty of his bodily complexion is like an extremely full moon. Attired in the cloth the color of a newly arisen sun, according to the religious principles of sannyas, that is, saffron, he freed the Gaudiya sky of the clouds of misconceptions and established the doctrine of pure devotion. So he's attired in the color of a newly risen sun, that's saffron. The color of saffron is anurag, or great attachment for Krishna. So many groves, his temples, are comprised of the flowers of bhakti, his devotees. The groves, groves are made of flowers and vines. So many groves, his temples, are comprised of the flowers of bhakti, his devotees. The entire universe is infatuated by their beauty and fragrance, that is their preaching, all of his followers. Sri Narahari Prabhu, the example of the perfection of service. Who is that? Narahari. We can tell the story of him tomorrow. The example of the perfection of service waves the chamara, while Keshav, Sri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami, sings this arti song with great delight. For those who are new, they'll be passing around flower petals, and then when it comes your turn, you'll be offering flower petals to the disciplic succession.
first go upward to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And then you could just go up.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Arati Nehari Yogamaya Pura Nitya Sevadanakari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Arati Nehari Yogamaya Pura Nitya Sevadanakari Sarvacha Pachara Dhupa Sarabha Manohara Paramukta Alikula Mugdha Chara Chara Bhaktisiddhanta Dipa Jwaliya Jagate Pancharasa Sevasika Pradipta Tahate Bhaktisiddhanta Dipa Jwaliya Jagate Pancharasa Sevasika Adiptitate Panchamahadipa Jata Panchamahajoti Trilokatamirana Avidya Dormati Panchamadipa Jata Panchamajoti Trilokati Miranase Avidya Dormati Bhakti Vinoda Dara Jala Shankadhara Niravari Baeta Rodhanahiyara Bhakti Vinoda Dara Jala Shankadhara Varivaeta Rodhanahiyara Sarvavadya Mai Ganta Bhaje Sarvakala Brihat Mridanga Vadya Paramarasala Sarvavadya Mai Ganta Bhaje Sarvakala Brihat Mridanga Vadya Paramarasala Vishala Lalate Sobhe Tilaka Ujvala Galadeshe Tulasi Mala Kare Jalamala Ajanulambita bahu dirga kalevara tapta kanchana varan paramasundara Ajanulambita bahu dirga kalevara tapta kanchana Prabhupada Sundara Lalita lavanya mukhe sneha bharasi Anga kanti sobhe jaiche Nitya purna shasi Lalita lavanya mukhe Anga kanti sobhe jaiche Rasi Jati dharme paridhane Arunavasana Mukta kailo megha brita Gaudiya gagana Arunavasana Mukta kailo megha brita Gaudiya gagana Pakati susume kato Kunja virachita Sandarya Soravetara Vishwavimohita Pakati Kushume Kato Kunja Virachita Sandaram Soravetara Vishalamachar Sevadar Senadari Chamaradulaya Keshava Ati Anande Nirajane Gai Sevadar Senadari Chamaradulaya Keshavati Anandeni Janegai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Jaya Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya 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 Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya. Oh Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Oh Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Premanande.
I actually don't know it, and I don't want to mess it up. Could I pass it on to someone that knows it really well? Now they don't miss anything. I can just start it out by saying Srila Gurudev Bhaktisiddhanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Ki. And then someone who really knows how to help the devotees. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Guru Parampara Ki Jai. My special thank you to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Ki. Sri Jagannath Das Babiji Maharaj Ki. Gaur Kishore Das Babiji Maharaj Ki. Sri Bamsi Das Babiji Maharaj Ki. All the wonderful servants of Sri Mama Prabhu Ki. Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuigo Shijiva Gopala Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadvip Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jamuna Ki Jamuna Devi Ki Ganga Devi Ki Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshanyu Ki Navadvip Dham Ki. All the 9 islands of Navadvip Dham, like Koladvip Ki, Antadvip Ki, Samudradvip Ki, Ki. There's 6 more. And all the forests of Vrindavan, like Bahulavan Ki, Kamyavan Ki, Vrindavan Dham Ki, and there's many more. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Her Grace, Srimati Shamarani Didi, leading us so perfectly. Ki Hari Hari Bo, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Dvaita Gadadha, Sri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki, Gaura Gadadha Ki, Gaura Nitai Ki, Gaura Sri Vascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha, Sri Ram Bhavin Bo, Vaishnava Namo Namaha, Sri Radha Govinda Ki. Hare Krishna. Hare Prayas Keshavasi Cha Krishna Bhakti Videh.
I wanted to say one thing for the small group. May I add?
What are we getting ready to do now, Mata? What are we getting
Turn the camera off. Is the camera off? No. Tell me when the camera's okay.
She asked you to do?
I know I asked.
She wants to